The shadow of Humza Yousaf is hanging over the Nats like a dark cloud, with the party on course to finish well behind Scottish Labour in the general election. The SNP's independence dream is set to die on July 4, according to a new poll which shows John Swinney has failed to reverse the Nat decline. A survey by Savanta suggests the party will plunge to just 17 MPs, 31 short of the 48 they won in 2019. With 2 weeks until polling day, Scottish Labour has consolidated its lead over the SNP and will end up with 29 Scottish MPs. The poll was released the day after Mr Swinney unveiled a flimsy SNP manifesto which vowed a vote for the party was a vote for Scottish independence. He also claimed if the SNP won the election in Scotland with a majority of Scottish MPs would pave the way for a second independence referendum. But his hopes look like they will be shattered with the new leader failing to win back support after the disastrous leadership of Humza Yousaf. The poll, for the Scotsman, showed Labour would win 38% of the vote, an increase from the 37% from the last Savanta poll. In contrast, the SNP is stuck on 33%, the same figure as the last Savanta study. The Tories' share of the vote has dropped to 15% while the Lib Dems remain steady on 7%. Polling guru Professor Sir John Curtis said that would see the Tories cling on to 6 seats and the Lib Dems boost their number from 4 to 5. The SNP would need to win 29 seats to have a majority of Scottish MPs. Sir John said the leadership of Mr Yousaf was hanging over the SNP like a dark cloud and the party would be significantly diminished at Westminster. He added, John Swinney has done his best. But so far he has had little success in restoring the SNP's fortunes. The party is stuck on the 33% figure for Westminster vote intentions that Savanta recorded for the party at the beginning of the campaign. Indeed, it is the same figure that Savanta previously reported shortly after the downfall of Humza Yousaf, an event that now hangs over the party like a dark cloud. Meanwhile, because Labour has edged up a point, they now trail their principal opponents by 5 rather than 4 points. Much of the SNP's campaign efforts have involved suggesting that a UK Labour government would fail to provide the resources needed to finance Scotland's public services, including, not least, the health service north of the border. However, this line of attack seems to have made little impression. The poll also showed just 64% of independence supporters planned on backing the SNP as voters grow weary of the constitutional debate. Mr Swinney said on Wednesday that he did not know what the future would hold for the Skexit movement if the Nats suffered big losses in the general election. He said, let's wait until July 5, we can have all those conversations then. But at this stage, if people want to make progress on the issue of independence they've got to vote for the SNP. Meanwhile, the latest mega poll suggested the SNP would perform slightly better with the Tories on course for their worst election result in its history. The Mr P from YouGov projects Labour to secure 425 seats, the Tories 108, the Liberal Democrats 67, SNP 20, Reform UK 5, Plaid Cymru 4 and the Green Party 2. The estimated seat projections were based on modelled responses from 36,161 adults in England and Wales, and 3,818 in Scotland, between June 11 and 18. Savanta's poll used 1,069 Scottish adults aged 16 and over online between June 14 to the 18th.